Cool, the city created before you even got close to the plane. Love it. Sometimes you can get that to happen on chapter 15. Yeah, it's the one after the witch hunts. Like, you got like the big lumbering guys with the axes come up and start walking up the hill. Sometimes you can actually shoot down there as Rosa and kill them before they get close. Which is funny, because if you kill them before they get inside the arena, the game instantly teleports them in there to drop their axe. Which is like really jarring, because all of a sudden you see them just like instantly teleport right next to you and die. But it's really hard because the game does not want to lock onto them, because they're not on the playfield, like they're not on the arena scape where you can lock onto somebody normally. Oh, what? Okay. I've never seen that happen. Once again, keeping with Twitch tradition of getting witch time off of the dodge from the level ender. That's brand new. More weird things. I mean, it's a Twitch rule. If you're streaming, you will see the weirdest things you've never seen ever at any point in time in your run. Hundreds, thousands of times, does not matter. That was unique. So I've gotten it before, like where one of the guys on the airplane takes a swing at me. Gotten it that way, but not off of the cube for the end of the level. That was for a segment. Verse? I'll get around to it eventually. I'll figure out what I'm trying to say. Alright. Go. Speaking of airplanes and things that look like F-18 fighter jets, there's a new Top Gun movie coming out, which cracks me up because the first movie basically should have ended in World War III. Because 6 MiG fighters, Soviet MiGs, infiltrated United States airspace, attacked our fighter planes, shot 3 of them down. Maverick saves the day by taking 3 of them out himself. Everyone cheers on the deck of the aircraft carrier after they barely make it back. In actuality, what would happen is that World War III would be starting up. We had a policy back then of MAD, mutually assured destruction, and we still do. So if somebody nukes us, we will just flatten your country. And that would have been instant war with the Soviet Union. So yeah, the world would have ended in nuclear fire. But apparently that didn't happen for some reason, and they're making a sequel. So we'll see how that works out. And it cracks me up too, just because being a part of the military growing up by proxy, we're referenced as military brats, children who grew up in the United States Armed Forces. But growing up an Air Force brat, you know about nuclear missiles, the launch procedures, all that other fun stuff. You also understand how like promotions and everything work inside the same armed forces. And one of the things is, like, you age out. I mean, they'll just get rid of you. Like Tom Cruise, if he was the same character from the original 1986 movie, he would have aged out by now. He would have been around 55 or so. 50, yeah, probably about 52, 53. They don't let you fly pilots fly that long because reaction speeds start diminishing. It's just the way things go with age. It's like you keep getting passed up for promotion, and you're still here. If you're passed up for promotion twice, you are kicked out. They will basically effectively retire you. You don't get a say in whether or not you want to get promoted. It's like you go for promotion board every couple of years. It's usually about every 4 years. and then based upon recommendations from your commanding officer and others, a group of people will review your application, your history, and decide to either promote you or not. And sometimes people do not get promoted. It does happen. Because just because you're in the armed forces doesn't mean you're a nice person or you do your job well. It's like you got through boot camp and didn't screw up too bad. So, second time you're passed up for promotion, you are kicked out. You're basically like, okay, thank you for your service. You know, you're done. We're going to retire you at whatever, 16 years, 20, whatever, however long you were in. So it's like the idea of like him being in there and just like voluntarily passing up promotions is absurd. Because second time it happened, it's like he would have been kicked out. He would have been retired, basically. Now I stopped to think about it. You do have an option to turn down promotions. It actually happened to my dad. He retired a major, and they offered him a lieutenant colonel, which is the next step up. After that is colonel and then general. So they offered him lieutenant colonel, but he would have to sign on for 4 more years of service, and he had done 20 at that point. He's like, I've done my 20 years. It's like, it's time for me to leave and go into civilian world again. So, and that's what he did. That's like the only time you can like turn down a promotion, really, is like if you're about to get out of the service.
Darkness is the absence of light. You see.
No, why did you spin? Why are you going? The game's decided, like, you know what? Those pillars, they gotta die. They're not well kept up. They're kind of an eyesore. Could you please just take them out for us? I mean, it'd be a great deal. Forget about those people attacking you, trying to go fast in a speed run. We really need those pillars to die, so you can just help us out a little bit. Rosa's like, okay. I've been dead for like 500 years, but okay, I'll do it. I don't know I'm alive now, but let's do it.
Can contain me.
Try to keep up.
Wow, okay, that Peter snapped itself back real quick. It realized it was in danger. Okay, but it's dead anyway, so that's good. Oh! Popping and cracking.
Performance might make the back page of the classified.
There we go. Alright, so that seemed to work pretty well. Got everybody lined up just for the shotgun blasts.
Nothing can contain me.
There's no time.
There's no time, we yell as we stop time to make time. It's probably, I hate to say it, Australian internet. I'm not showing any frame drops here. Or it could be Twitch. Certain Twitch servers do suck. They've been known to drop stuff. But yeah, I checked it out. It doesn't seem to be me. I'm not getting any server alerts or anything. OBS is saying I'm not dropping anything, but it could be. So if somebody else shows up or is lurking and wants to respond, you know, by all means let me know. And if it is something like that, I will definitely take care of it as soon as I can. I know a lady out of Brisbane, I believe you guys say it. We call it Brisbane because we're Americans. And she's actually had to cancel her streams before on Twitch just because the internet being what it is. Which is not fun, and I've had that too, but it's understandable.
That performance might make the back page of the classified.
Well, it's recently they took out the ability to report problems. Because, I mean, it was set up like, if you have, like, a Twitch problem, like, on the server, like, you know, you can tell it to tell you that, which I do have set up every single time, because sometimes some servers just crap out for Twitch. And it's a literal thing, it's just like, it's not you, it's us type deal. And you can report it, so basically the IT people should be able to mitigate server load or, you know, help try to take care of the problem. But they've taken that out now, so it's like you can have problems, Twitch will still notify you, hey, we're dropping stuff on our end, it's causing your stream to lag, and you can't report it anymore. It's like, why did you take that out? It's like, it's kind of like ostrich burying their head in the sand, to use that old metaphor. It's like, sure, we got a problem, I don't feel like fixing it. Pardon me, yeah, Australian internet is the thing of legend. Like, 2 countries have terrible internet, and it's just unfortunate, especially with Australia, where you guys should definitely be having some top-of-the-line stuff. It's Australia and Brazil are like the 2 countries I can think of off the top of the head that have like very, very unreliable internet. Brazil's even worse. I mean, it's ridiculous. But of course, I mean, the country is just so corrupt, they'll never fix it. But, you know, if you come into some big inheritance or something and you want to make yourself a lot of money, work your way into telecommunications, start expanding out, improving on the infrastructure of your country, you'll make billions easily. It's going to take a good investment to get going, but after that, you'll just be raking it right in. Put down fiber, that'd be even better. Just dodge out of habit. Shouldn't do that. Okay, time to fly. That's reminded me, because my brain works really weird ways. Kiki's Delivery Service. It's gonna be back in theaters in 9 days. I'll probably go see it again. I love that movie. Studio Ghibli puts out some amazing stuff. The reason why I thought of that is because one of the lyrics is "Gotta fly" in the end, in the ending closing credits song. So I'm like, oh, okay, gotta fly, gotta do that. That's how my brain works. Alright, dead, DED. That's something I gotta look into, you know, thinking about, like, the Twitch problem is, because when you're broadcasting, you can choose what server you want to broadcast from. So if I'm having, like, lots of server drops, I'll stop my stream and switch to a different server, and that usually takes care of the problems. I don't think you can do that when watching, however. Because that would be very useful. Okay, let's try this again. There we go. Alright.
This is simply the benefit of trading. Unimpressive. Darkness is the absence of light.
Oh, Rosa, I love you and your 2 punches to get past that stupid thing. So you said I've been playing Bayonetta recently, like using her in runs, and it's just like punch, 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 dodge, punch, 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 dodge, punch, punch, punch. Is like, die, please. Heavyweight fighters don't stand up to this much abuse. Please, please die.
That performance might make the back page reclassified.
Get knocked out as fast as gosh, what's her face? Well, I'm dropping the joke anyway. Whoa, that felt like it almost soft locked for a second. I'm like, no, just got a run going. Please don't do that to me. I love you. Oh, just about bullseye. Alright, so we're coming up on one of the worst RNG segments this entire game. Which it doesn't feel like it would be, but it turns out it is. It's that stupid, like, flying orb you go around. Start climbing up to get to the top. That bad boy is RNG because it's basically has to deal with when the enemies will spawn, like when they'll land, basically. So they'll do two things. Either they will bide their time and not spawn all at the same time, or they'll spawn into the game but not land, so you can't affect them at all. You can't punch them, beat them up, kill them, move on. So to see the halos zipping around, they refuse to touch the ground and thus spawn.
I stand for the Umbra Witches, overseers of darkness. I stand for the Umbra Witches, overseers of darkness.
Here we go. It seems like if you turn off your Umbran Climax, it seems like it makes them spawn in faster. Because like if you're standing there like ready to destroy them as the mech, it feels like at least like they don't want to come up. So that was really awesome. Because I've just had that go completely sideways and not work right. Should be able to make it to the top. Yes, barely. That was cutting it ridiculously close. 31.99, I was about to say 32, which would have pretty much been correct. Margin of error and all that.
This is simply the benefit of training.
Alright. Apologies, gonna open a drink. Yeah. Oh, I do. How many years have I been playing this game? How many speedruns have I done? How many times have I forgotten to just run forward on that and not bother with it? Too many. Alright, so you're dead. I don't care what you do now.
Saying that's just going to make me take him there.
Zip around, it don't matter.
After I've taken care of my business, of course.
I had explained that phrase to my mom the other day. I can't remember why, but I had uttered it. She's like, okay, translate please. So I did, and she's like, she thought it was hilarious. I'm like, well, let me explain a little more to it. It's from a series from the 80s that was kind of ripping off Mad Max in a lot of ways, and it's a nuclear wasteland where apparently Kenshiro and everybody else just subsides on a diet of 100% anabolic steroids. And he punches people and they explode in gruesome fashions, sometimes with a time delay. She's like, wow, that sounds cool. I'm like, yeah, you wouldn't like it. She likes action movies. She loves action movies. Terminator 2 is her favorite film. But it's like blood and guts. She's still kind of like a, but it's kind of funny. Alright, so this is a little bit difficult because if I damage too fast, then it's a problem. It will go into punish. Oh yeah, and the funny thing is, like, I showed her like Terminator 2, the uncut version, back when this was on VHS. So I had to special order it. And it was her first time seeing it. My brother and I had already seen it. You know, we loved the movie. She loved, I mean, like, so she loves action movies. So, we're showing her this. My brother and I are freaking out because we're just watching all this stuff. We're like, oh my god, it's like, that wasn't what it was originally like. You know, it's like, so we're kind of keeping it quiet because she hasn't seen it still. And the second tape, oh no, it gave me which time. Second tape was, like a featurette about all the stuff that was cut out and why. Pardon me. So literally James Cameron cut 15 minutes out, the best 15 minutes out of the film. Because he felt, well, it felt like it was just too long of a movie. And it's like, okay, well, why did you cut the part with the T-1000 coming back together and glitching? It's like, well, it gave people hope. So I didn't want that to do that. I wanted to feel like, you know, like there's no hope to kill this thing whatsoever. Whereas, like, when he's glitching, it does give you hope, which is great, because it shows that, yes, you can defeat this thing. It's not this unstoppable monster. It can be taken out. But then, yeah, you got the problem here now with... Yeah, those scenes were kept as deleted scenes, so pretty much any version of Terminator 2 you buy now, I'd say for probably the past 10, 15 years maybe, is the uncut version, where they have all those scenes put in, like the part where they cut open the Terminator's head to remove the chip and reset it so he can start learning. That was cut out of the movie. You know, all sorts of crazy great scenes. Like, actually, it's like Linda Hamilton has a twin sister, and they brought her in for that scene because it wasn't a mirror. You know, it was like she was on the other side of of a set piece that they had, and she was mimicking her sister's movements. You know, trying to line up as best as possible to create this fake mirror shot. You know, all sorts of crazy insanity that it looked amazing, and James Cameron's like, oh, it just felt like the movie was too long for what I wanted to do. So I cut it out. I'm like, you're insane. Yeah, so pretty much like every single version you buy now of T2 is the uncut version. And why you'd ever watch the theatrical after that, I have no idea. So she was like part blown away because she had seen this amazing movie that my brother and I had like ranted and raved about, and at the same time like angry that all these scenes were cut out. You know, you bring it up today and it still makes her mad. Yeah, the next movie I'm trying to get her to watch is Mad Max Fury Road. She's like, I've never seen any of the other Mad Max films. I'm like, it doesn't matter. It's like, 1, Max is not the star of the movie. 2, there's almost no dialogue. It's just a through and through action movie. Which I saw in 3D, which was not that great except for like the end part where there's this huge wreck and all these like just debris comes flying at you. That was cool. But like the neat thing about watching it in 3D was it gave you a depth, like you had good depth of perception on that. So you could like look out there and see how far away everybody was that they were chasing them. Like you could look out and go, okay, it's about a kilometer out or so, like they're right on their tail. So it was really cool that way. But it wasn't like kind of like more modern 3D where, oh no, it missed. Where they're just going through and like, you know, like, let's just throw crap at your face for fun. It was more kind of like, it just blended in to be like more useful. There we go. Good job, Rosa. I'm so proud of you. Now, maybe not so much now, but you are now mediocre in my eyes. Yeah, I wanted to see if I could do that. Can I jump off the edge with this thing? Yeah, you still can. Cool. So, James Cameron cuts out, like, he's known for cutting out the best parts of his movies. And usually things that make sense. Now, the only one I've seen of his movies where I've seen deleted scenes and thought, okay, I can see why he cut that out, it wasn't needed, was Avatar. The, Dances with Wolves in Space movie. Those scenes just, like, contradicted other previous scenes, they were very short. It didn't matter. I mean, you cut them out and the story was not affected whatsoever. But I mean, then you have like aliens, which is 20 minutes. Yeah, I think it was about 20 minutes cut out from that, which explains why Ripley's daughter is dead from old age because she was frozen for so long, and why she keeps like, and explains why she's so motherly to Newt, because she's projecting her motherhood onto this newly orphaned girl and treating her like her new daughter, which gives more of an interesting twist to their relationship. You know, that was cut out. And then the scenes where they had the automatic guns firing down the tunnels, like, they kept saying the entire time, like, we're safe in medical bay. I'm like, how are you safe anywhere on the planet where these things are? And they're like, well, we're here, and there's, like, it's a corner spot. There's only 2 ways into it, you know, through 2 tunnels. We seal them off. We have automatic firing Gatling guns on the other side. And then they're back there, and then all of a sudden one of the guns starts going off. So they all race down to the control center and just watch the video feed, and you see all the aliens just getting blown up in the tunnel. They're just bum rushing it so fast that they like take out one of the guns, they destroy it. And then they start up on the second tunnel. Except for like they back off at the last second, like the gun's about to run out of ammunition. And they're like, oh crap, here they come. And then they're like, wait a second, the gun stopped and there's like 5 bullets left. They're like, well, the next time they're walking right in here, they're going to kill us. And like, well, they don't know that we're almost out of ammo. It's like, they don't know that. Oh, why do you keep jumping? I'm not jumping. He's like, no, keep jump canceling. It's cool. We want to slam and jam. So yeah, that was cut out too. All sorts of neat little stuff like that. He has a history doing it. The Abyss, I remember he cut out about, I think The Abyss was about another 15-20 minutes. It was it's more neat special effects stuff too. And special effects are not cheap. Yeah, so any James Cameron movie you watch, with the exception of Avatar, track down the uncut versions, the director's cuts versions, if you will.
This is simply the benefit of training.
It makes them so much better.
Nothing can contain me.
So I don't really expect a PB on this run, but I'm just kind of using this as a warm-up, because I'm thinking after this I'm probably going to do a Bayonetta New Game Plus run, or I might do a Jean New Game Plus. I don't know if I will or not for her. It's kind of up in the air, but my plan is to most likely do a Bayonetta New Game Plus run. Jean is a little bit different. She does take a little bit more planning out, because you don't use the mech the entire time. You use kind of a combination of the two with her, because she's strong, but she can use the hammer. And if you team up the hammer with infinite magic and red lollipop usage, you basically go through ripping through just about as fast as Rosa. But there are certain spots where using the mech is a lot better, so you gotta kind of alternate back and forth. And I haven't done that since I set the record for it about maybe 2 months ago. So I'd be very rusty on it, so... But hey, sometimes you gotta shake those cobwebs out, you know? Not gonna stress because one thing doesn't go my way. 2 things go my way, then I'm gonna scream and throw a fit. Blame everybody.
Not bad. Hey, wait! Your turn.
Darkness is the absence of light.
Oh, too much at once. Okay. I bought a smaller size whiskey bottle than I usually do. It's got different like spout, like the bigger ones. Like my brother calls them handles because he was in a sorority in his college. I'm drinking what's known as a fifth, so he drinks what's called a handle, which are like the big, large, like almost 2-liter bottles. And they have like a special like pourer on the end, so basically now everything goes like develops air bubbles and goes flopping out all over the place, and you miss your shot glass where you're trying to pour into. The smaller bottles don't have that, so it's like I get used to drinking from it that way, where it's like a smaller opening, and all of a sudden it's like too much. Don't you hate when you're an alcoholic and you have these problems? Almost went off the edge. That would have been bad. Would have been entertainingly bad, but not an ender in my case. Okay, cool. So yellows even work on these things. Good to know.
Darkness is the absence of light. Nothing can contain me.
Pardon me. So now I'm thinking about Terminator 2, the VHS version. I still have it, and thanks to my retro tank, I can actually record VHS movies. So it'd be kind of interesting. I wouldn't be able to put it on YouTube or anything, but it'd be kind of interesting just to preserve it that way digitally. VHS letterbox, which is, you had to go out of your way to get letterbox copies back in the day because they were all pan and scan. It was a 4x3 televisions. So basically you'd be cutting off, you know, a good chunk of your movie, depending on the aspect ratio, you know, in order to get it to fit on your screen. And I remember when HD TVs first came out and DVD and Blu-ray and everything like that became more popular, you'd have people complain that movies, you know, were not filling up the entire screen. Well, actually, no, what is it there? So, I get this a little backwards. I'm in my thinking for here. So what would happen is that, yeah, so people would buy new widescrreen televisions, okay? But they'd be upset because they'd watch old programming or their old movies, VHS copies. They'd still hook them up to their brand new TV, and they wanted to know how to get it to stretch to fill the entire screen, and they were upset because we were ripping them off because that's out of range. Like, hey, I'm paying for all the screen. I demand to use it.
So is my target by the looks of it.
Jean, there she is.
They'd also get really mad too because then they would buy a brand new movie, which was anamorphic widescreen back then, to basically detect, like, if you had a widescreen television, they would put in the correct aspect ratio. They get upset again if there was any type of letterboxing whatsoever on the top and bottom, even if it's like small amount. You got to fit in like the 2.35, I think it is the wider aspect you have. 2.35 to 1. Well, I think still leaves some letterboxing on your screen. It might be even bigger. I can't remember off the top of my head. But yeah, they get upset about that too. It was... People are crazy. So we have a new strategy with this lady, where if you're playing new game, taunt. Not on the first form, but on the second form, like right here, like before you start up. Taunt her, then smash her with the red hammer over and over. You can get a lot of money real quick. Whoa, what the... So you do it like 2 times, but on the third one, don't do it, because it's just over so fast, and she tends to get a hit off if you do. But it's like a real quick way to get extra money, because we do Earrings of Ruin strats now again. For a while they were dropped. I can't remember why, but then they kind of came back into fashion. I think it was after myself and a couple other runners proved, like, no, the Earrings of Ruin do speed up the endgame by quite a lot. Because I think at the time the thinking was to use the hammer and red lollipops, but you tend to not have a whole lot of them, and it takes a lot more skill to do, and if you use the Earrings of Ruin, it just destroys them faster. So of course the struggle is, in a new game, is to get all that money you need. And if you taunt on her, that gives it, it's real easy, like about almost 100,000 halos you can get, just about, if you do it right. But if you taunt on her first form, where she's jumping around and summons those plants to try to stick you in your place, she will dodge almost every single attack you do. Like if you're trying to hit her with the hammer, she will backflip all around the entire arena just to escape you. Let's see if this soft locks the game or not. It's taking a gamble. It looks like he's there. And he's down. Die, please. There we go. Perfect. So that is kind of risky, because you could throw away on New Game Plus 45 minutes worth of time. If you kill him before the transition to the second phase, it can soft lock. Basically, it'll come back after flying, you know, doing the wide camera and coming back in, and Baldur won't be there. You'll just be standing there by yourself, and you have to restart the level, which effectively kills a run. Jump. Yeah, definitely do it on a marathon. Make sure you don't have saves as well. Work it into your estimate. I mean, make sure you have like a 6-hour estimate to make sure you have plenty of time for resets during the run. I mean, it's the only logical way to do it, if you ask me. What's up, T-Wallace?
Nothing can contain me.
Actually, one of our runners is actually at ESA. He's going to be doing this game, third climax, new run with Bayonetta. So that's on Thursday. If you're in Eastern time, which I know you're not, it's going to be at midnight. So for you, it'd be like 9 o'clock at night. I just call him Rice because I can never say his full name. Not a slam against you, but as everybody knows, I am terrible with Twitch names in general. So. I do not do the mech right here because while it's faster on the ground, if you jump into the air, it is slower. Oops, a little too soon. Yeah, it's like R-I-C-Y-O-S-M-A. So I just call him Rice. I give pretty much everybody a nickname.
Darkness is the absence of light.
It's usually like I tell new people too, like when they're here in stream, if they have like a name, I'm like, okay, I can't pronounce your name, and they'll usually spell it out phonetically for me, which is very nice. I'm like, is it cool if I call you this? And they're like, usually a lot of them are like, yeah, no problem, it's all cool. I actually had like one person say no. It's like, okay. Whoa, it's supposed to trigger the fight. I was like, I'm just gonna cancel out this real fast. Oops, never mind. Guess I just didn't hit that barrier just right. That's okay, this is kind of like a D-Rust anyway right now, or like, more like, not a D-Rust, but like a warm-up. Because I'm planning on doing another New Game Plus run with Bayonetta or Jean, most likely Bayonetta. Jean is a little bit more interesting. But yeah, usually it's like the nickname that I try to create is usually something like around their name. Like for you, I would just say Wallace. Or the Wall. What's up, Wall? Or 1, 2, 3, or Ich-ni-san. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And zwei. You know, whatever language I feel like speaking at that moment. Everybody's dead? Yep. So usually if it's like close to the person's name, that just helps me remember it. Because if I think of something completely different, like if I start calling you Bubbles, you know, it's like, I wouldn't remember to call you that. I'd just be calling you like T. Wallace normally. I swear, every single time I don't need it to continue the combo, like in a New Game Plus run, it doesn't drop the combo there. And then when I need it, it just drops it like nobody's business. Yeah, let's make up a new one for every single stream. Be a good idea. At that point, I just changed my branding from like Wurzel Gaming to like the Forgetful Gamer. Alright, today we're playing with, it's a game, give me a minute, I remember. We'll basically be like stoned at that point. It's like, smoking pot leads to... Hold on, I remember this one. No, with YKB, I'd be afraid I'd actually accidentally slip up and use her real name, which I do know. And that would not be cool. Okay, getting low on yellows. I need to be more careful with this. Apparently I've been blasting through them too much. I was grinding a little bit before stream to make more yellows. I only made like 3. 'Cause, I mean, it takes 15 of the yellow crafting items in order to make a large yellow lollipop, and I made about maybe 4 small reds. Don't worry about it, man. I know you're working on a script that you need to do, so it's all cool. I'm always around. It's like people get upset sometimes, like when people jump out of a Twitch stream or anything like that, and for me, I'm just like, yeah, that's fine, you know. People come and go. People sometimes put me on the background. Sometimes people listen to my stream and report me to federal authorities. You know, it's all good. Oh, I could totally grind around the stream if you want. Be the most boring stream ever. Basically doing the intro to Chapter 2 over... Actually doing a lot of Chapter 2 over and over and over again. See right there, that guy teleported in because he's dead. Yeah, some people are like that. Some people have gotten really mad that they have all these followers, but then they have like 2 or 3 people per stream type deal. You know, it's like life happens. I mean, it's sometimes people watch, sometimes people don't. I mean, I usually average between 3 to 9 people, and it comes and goes. So it's like that's cool. I am perfectly fine with that. Yeah, 12-hour grind stream. There's going to be a riot though, I'm afraid to inform you. Pardon me. Bayonetta 3, I wish. Fire Madman. As of right now, we still have the teaser trailer from 20 months ago, with no news on the new game at all. No screenshots, no footage, nothing. And seeing how they're putting all their eggs into the Astral Chain basket, I'm betting they have not even really started developing Bayonetta 3 in earnest. They made the trailer, they have a couple of different ideas, they probably have the rough layout for where they want to do for level and design, and that's it. So I would, personally, I'm not expecting to see Bayonetta before 2021. Bayonetta 3 for 2021. Yeah, Bayonetta 2-X, yeah, Bayonetta X-2, make it really weird. Make her into a, like, pop star. Ten-2 is just such a weird game. I didn't really like the battle mechanics behind it either. I just thought it was just kind of this... It seemed like a weird fan game, if I were to kind of classify it. It didn't seem like it was an official thing put out by Square. Yeah, the sequel to Duke Nukem Forever. Yeah, this time we're going to take about 30 years. Hope we're all cool with that. People loved the last game. Yes, more unskippable cutscenes. It's all the rage. Well, I'm just waiting to say, like, Bayonetta 3 has a Battle Royale mode. Yes, more crafting. Microtransactions for everything. You want to use a lollipop? That's 99 cents per each one you use. Yes, you did, but I don't care about Kappa. For me, Kappa is the most abused thing on the planet. If you're familiar with Twitch, at least. People like... Because people don't use it right. Like, one, it's basically supposed to be used for in case if there's, like, no blatant, like, humor behind it, like you're trying to indicate more sarcasm or a joke. But, like, people just abuse it. Like, wow, man, I hope your mom dies in your sleep tonight, Kappa. It's like, that's not a joke. It's like, I don't think you understand how to quite work and use this here. Actually, the last game, Bayonetta 2, was a little more rushed, actually. That is actually correct. You've been trying to be facetious, but that is a correct statement. Yeah, I never use it myself. Actually, I know streamers who actually ban Kappa, and if you type it in, it actually times you out for like a minute. Oh yes, I know you're talking about Duke Nukem Forever. That's why I said, like, Duke Nukem Forever took 20 years to make, so the sequel's gotta take at least probably close to 40. You gotta keep it consistent and all. Yes, got the best Star Fox level in years this game, because if you played Zero, which I've gone on rants about before, it's terrible. Spinny, spin, spin. Yes, and why is Star Fox Star Fox Zero so terrible? It's not Platinum's fault. It really isn't. They actually rallied against the changes that Miyamoto insisted happen. Yeah, Pilot Wings is far better. I love Pilot Wings. I love 1, I love 64, and I have Pilot Wings Resort for my 3DS, which I don't play very often because it makes my hands cramp. So I gotta see if I can play it in an emulator. But I mean, any Pilot Wings game, you really can't go wrong. And Star Fox, I don't know what it is with Nintendo, but they are like obsessed with remaking 64 every single game. Even Star Fox Zero has levels that are straight up Mario 64 levels. With like small minor changes. It's like they just cannot let that game go. Yes, that was a fun game for the time. I bought it when it came out. Rumble was, they were the first ones to do like controller vibrations via the Rumble pack. It was a novel idea. But they just can't seem to let go of that past. I mean, like I said, I've made multiple rants about Nintendo before, about them being a very Japanese company and refusing to change things because, well, this is how we've always done it. You know, instead of like innovating and changing with the rest of what everybody else is doing, but then of course almost everyone else has jumped on the bandwagon games.
Nothing can contain me.
This might actually be very close to my record. My record for this is 1 hour, 7 minutes, and 7 seconds. We'll see. It feels like it's going to be close, but I could be wrong on it. So I think this last part's 4 minutes. From the point where it says, "Let's dance, boys," so... Move my controller around to make it easier so I can stop the timer when the time comes. But wasn't Star Fox Assault still Pilot Wings? Like, still not Pilot Wings, but still Star Fox 64? Really? Because I remember people kind of crapping on it. I missed out on it. I guess I'll have to download it and give it a shot. My only hope for Bayonetta 3 is that they offer some kind of colorblind mode. I'd be all for that. I'm always down for that. Usually, I mean, a lot of times what they'll do is they'll just change it to slightly different colors, you know, different color scheme that a lot of people don't have color blindness to. But then you have games like Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare, where they did the remaster, which they're soft rebooting now again, which is kind of weird. But I digress. That mode for color blindness is not they didn't ask anybody who has color blindness to look at it and say, hey, how should we handle this? All you need to really do is change the HUDs, put the colors for that, and like health bars, or anything that's supposed to be like crucial for the gamer to know, like this is your objective point, go here. That stuff you need to make sure is able to be visible. Everything else can stay the same. You don't have to change a whole lot. But I mean, with Call of Duty Modern Warfare 4, they just went through and just like, okay, so color blindness mode, and the sky is now yellow, and trees are, you know, brown, and the ground is now purple. It's just like, no one has color blindness like this. It's like, I'm very colorblind, and when I can see those colors and I can say, that's not right, that's not even close, that's not helping me, that's a problem. So a color blindness option would be kind of nice, because I do actually have problems seeing red in this game for how long the duration is. Oh no, the timer stopped! Why? Finger slipped! I'm gonna have to go through and check the timing on that.